All right, you guys ready for this? Man, this is the first time I take off my glasses during a podcast, but that's only because I'm serious. Did you guys hear the chants for MVP? Please tell me you heard the chants for MVP for Lamar in Buffalo.
Thank you to all the amazing listeners out there. On behalf of the Reef podcast, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for our future mentions on the new episode. Have a great day.
Welcome everybody to the Reef podcast. I'm your host Luis, and I'm joined by ZDP. No more LuisIpa, huh? What? Wait, what? Just Luis. Hey, it's my name now. It used to be LuisIpa, but now we got Luis, and we got with us ZDP in the house. Welcome back, sir. Glad you had a
Yes.
You had an awesome
Nice to be
off
back.
week. You had a bye week because somebody didn't tell me they actually got sick, and somebody hopefully remembered to put some PTO in there.
Oh man, I have to deal with HR in that department. I feel like I might have slipped, but I'll get back on that. I see you got something new over there. You're wearing some glasses.
Oh,
Are you trying to go through a match the crew over here?
yeah, we're all wearing
I
glasses
see.
because we're all analytics here.
Between the three of us, because it looks like we're all wearing glasses, who do you think can see the furthest in the future?
I don't think it's gonna
With
be me.
the glasses we got.
I personally don't think. I personally don't think I can. I'm already blind as a bat, so.
Dude, I take the glasses off. I can't read like 10 feet in front of me or less. I'm blind.
I'm blind as a bat as well.
So, hey, we want to welcome back Doyle here. Welcome back to the show, man. Glad to have you back.
Doyle, let's go, dude. Love to have
Thank
you here, man.
Thank you both for having me back. Pleasure being back here.
But yeah, let's get to those week 4 reactions. Did y'all see the Adonai Mitchell's drop before he got through the touchdown?
Why do I have a feeling that they staged something like that just to create, like, oh my god, big moments?
You feel like that was staged? Because I mean, the Colts are a really hot team, and to have something so asinine like that, like just a nuisance of a mistake, it's a boneheaded mistake. Like I get he's human, things happen like that. I wonder at that moment what was going through his mind. Was he trying to go through and have that touchdown celebration go through? I mean, what do you think about that, Doyle?
I didn't really get to fully see it. Like if he was running with the ball beside him or if the ball might have been slightly behind him, he crosses and then he's like, oh, it's a touchdown. But nope, ball's got to cross. And he drops it thinking he scored an easy touchdown, and not so fast, my friend.
How do y'all feel about Jackson Dart this past week?
It's kind of like when the team gets a new coach, he gave that offense and team like a new lifeline, something that just shook everything up, and it gave him a more younger athletic quarterback. Russ was not moving like the old Russ did and extending plays. They just needed a change, and not having film on him, I think, played the biggest factor. And it's just going to be interesting to see how he keeps playing later through the year. So far, a good start.
Right when you said that, it rang a bell. I was like, okay, I know who you guys talking about now. And I hate to mention his name just because my personal team missed the opportunity of drafting him, and it bites me in the butt like a lot. The fact that they trusted Rattler is like great and everything, but it's like, dude, you could have get this guy instead of Shuck. Like you said, Doyle, a quarterback that has no playbook experience whatsoever. Like nobody knows what he's doing. That means that the team was not prepared for backups. When it comes to an NFL team, you must be prepared for every single player out there, not just like the starters. Be prepared for the backups because sometimes the backups tend to do way better than the starting quarterback. And like you said, Russell Wilson, I guess he listened to the podcast for a while and he basically took his frustration out of this. And literally, he's like, okay, so they're not talking much trash anymore about me. So I'm going to go ahead and basically just play chill, nothing wrong. But if he is listening to this podcast, I want to say that, dude, step up because you're about to get replaced by a young rookie.
So to counter the point you made about Jackson Dart, there's not much film on him. However, he did play during the preseason. So there is some film, some tendencies that you can go through and pull up and stuff like that. Now, Jackson Dart didn't really do too much in this game. Like, yeah, he had 54 rushing yards. He got sacked 9 times, passed for 114 yards or something around that nature, 1 touchdown, and he had a rushing touchdown as well. It was not expected for the Giants to go through and win against the Chargers. Whatever happened, it was an off game for the Chargers. Whatever scheme the Giants came through a loop against the Chargers, but they still had some film on that. Now there's going to be more film on that going into the Saints game. And I feel like the Saints are going to go through and use it against Jackson Dart. I do feel Jackson Dart is a future for this team. He is young, athletic, the new age of quarterbacks. Something that Russell Wilson was when he was younger. He is getting up there in age. And now, if you go through and ask the man to go through and throw a 4th and 2, this guy's going to go through and launch it into the stands.
I do have one final thing to say about Dart. It's good that Russell Wilson is with him, because if you always have a veteran quarterback with a rookie or with a young player, get coached by that player, by that veteran. Like, learn from him. Learn everything that he did over the years. And that's what happens. Like, the mentor passes down the torch to the apprentice. The apprentice becomes the new headline of the team, correct? So that's all it takes. Just literally practice, learn from the best, because don't get me wrong, Russell Wilson in his young years, amazing. And also, he has a chip on his shoulder, because look what happened to Jones. Jones left the Giants, and now the Giants were left with nobody. And so Dart has to actually be like, you know what? It's time for me to step up, show the Giants that I'm actually the new quarterback. I'm the one that's going to stay here for a while. And, I mean, basically, like, eventually we're going to have nothing but new quarterbacks. I mean, it's all rotation all the time. So that's my last point. So keep up the good work, and hopefully learn some things from Russell Wilson.
Do you guys feel Dart was ready when he took on this task this week? Because, I mean, usually it's about week 4, week 3, week 4, maybe week 5, you'll start seeing some of the rookies start taking into the lineup. There's a trend about week 5 is when the team sees whether or not they have their future or not. From this game, do you feel like that is evident enough to make that claim that Dart is ready to take this team by the helm and lead them?
You make the change, you're seeing what your future is, you're going to see if he's your guy. You can't really go back to him unless he gets hurt or he just starts playing horrible again. You just let him ride it out and see what happens. If he's not the guy, you find out, and you have to hopefully draft something again, sign someone. But once you usually make this move, it's rare that they go back. If all 3 of us are being honest, Giants' expectations weren't not that high from a lot of people. So if you're going to lose games, lose them like with a guy learning. But with how the Giants were playing, they felt like they had to make a change, because the locker room seemed like they were wanting a change. And we know New York media.
If you're a rookie and you actually replacing a veteran, you have such a burden on your shoulder. Like, you have a lot on your plate. Because, I mean, you basically have to step up for that quarterback that was actually the starter. And I don't think I'm not trying to bash. I'm sorry, New York Giants fans, but give that guy some time. Like, if you're actually going to bash him, yeah, you celebrate that he won and everything. But the Giants fans are almost as much as Saints fans. If we don't win, we basically despise the quarterback. We basically blame everything. And basically it's the same thing with the Giants. Look what happened with Daniel Jones. They basically scored him out of New York. They basically kicked him out. And I'm afraid that if Darp can't actually deliver this coming week, then he might actually get the boos, and he might get people to say no, put Wilson back again. Put Wilson back again. I kid you not, dude. I mean, he has, like I said, he has a big plate to actually fill, because being a starter quarterback on your rookie year is tough out there, man. I mean, you basically have so much going on. I haven't studied much of the teams at all. I mean, you have days to prepare, and it takes weeks to actually adapt to stuff like that. So I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback, but it's just that if he would have started from week 1, we would have known more about him. But the fact that he actually started after a few games when Russell Wilson already had took helm, then it's more difficult to literally adapt to that. And I personally think he may struggle this week coming up, but I think that he can still pull it together, just because he was good in college. But I mean, and like you said, nobody has film on him, only from preseason and from college years. And it's all about mobile quarterback now, so we'll see what happens.
want to go through and talk about the Malik Neighbors injury being out for the year. I think that is really going to hinder Jackson Dart's ability. Now, he's going to have to go through and rely more on his legs. He's going to have to go through and rely more on Cam Scatterboo. He's going to have to rely more on Wendell Robinson and some other receivers there. Outside of that, I mean, Malik Neighbors is a true number one when it came to that. And now he's got a number one that's more of a slot receiver. Do you see that taking hindrance on any growth from Jackson Dart?
I can see it as like a small benefit for Dart without a true number one to force the ball. Now, Neighbors is out. It's going to allow him to get to know the number two, the running back, the tight end. It's going to allow him to get to know all these other weapons for them so that when Neighbors does come back next year, now teams are going to be like, all right, who do we have to stop?
Do you feel like the Chiefs are back?
I don't think so. There's still lots of football to go until they actually beat an actual elite team. That, like, let's say they beat Buffalo. If they were to beat Buffalo, if they actually beat Buffalo, and Josh Allen is playing and all their star players are playing, then I'll be like, okay, I'm starting to consider the Chiefs. But until then, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like this is a weird off year for the Chiefs. And the one that I really want to watch out for is the Eagles. The Eagles have a really good team. But I don't think the Chiefs are back, to be honest. Not anytime soon. I mean, where's Kelsey? Is Kelsey still with T Swift or something like that? I mean, are they like spending?
They're engaged,
yeah. So basically, like, she's probably, not to bash any Swifties out there or anything like that, but it's just that she's probably focused on the wedding, focused, like, on everything like that. And Kelsey is more focused, like, now on the wedding. He's focused on retirement. Don't be surprised if you see Kelsey retire this year. I mean, maybe he'll be like, you know what? I had a long career. I'm done. I already won a couple Super Bowls. I don't need it anymore. I'm basically retiring. And then basically, like, Mahomes gonna have to find a new tight end. Maybe they'll find a new one. Who knows? But I don't think the Chiefs are back.
So what if they beat the Jaguars? Would that change your mind?
Negatory. Everyone had high expectations of the Chiefs from the beginning because they had everybody, like, all the good players and everything. Yeah, some were hurt. But I mean, I'm saying, like, everyone expects Mahomes to do this, Mahomes to do that. Well, I mean, Mahomes didn't show up in the first few weeks. So, I mean, I'm just stating that if he actually was like Mahomes from previous years, then yeah, there will still be a Super Bowl caliber team. But the fact, like, they're not doing much and everything, it makes me wonder, like, is this the off year of the Super Bowl caliber teams?
I'm not putting stake into it just yet because the Ravens lost 7 starters on defense. They started with 4 backups, and then throughout the game they went to 7 backups on defense. Maybe the Ravens defense was a get-back game for their offense to get going. So maybe if they keep showing like this against the Jaguars, I'll slowly believe in them. But their bigger game for me before they get to Buffalo is what they do the following week after the Jaguars, because that's when I think they play the Lions or something, and that will be a bigger game. This one, I feel like this is a game for them to get right, get everything fundamentally sound. They're going to be playing a team that's not injury depleted in the category right now where they are in the league. They're going to be playing about someone on that same level, and it's going to be interesting if they're ready to take that step back up into one of the top dogs in the league, or is it this year they're still figuring, they need to figure everything out and struggling like they did last year where they won all those close games. They might start to lose them now. Just how football works sometimes.
The Chiefs still have to go through and improve quite a bit. I don't want to go through and take the win that they had against the Ravens lately, but the Ravens are struggling right now, and they will continue to struggle with Lamar Jackson being out. And then on top of that, you did talk about the amount of injuries that they've had along the defensive side as well. So we'll have to go through and see what happens. If they beat Jacksonville, it will put them over 500, and we'll see what goes from there. But anything can happen with the Chiefs schedule at this point.
It's still early in the season. We still don't know exactly what's happening because a lot of these teams, like, I'm not trying to, like, brag or anything like that, but who knows? What if the Saints end up going 13-4 now that they basically, like, like maybe they found some kind of juice or some juju, like, hey, you know what? It's time to actually act serious. Let's get some wins in the board. I mean, anything can happen, dude. I mean, I'm not trying to bash any teams. I mean, a lot of look, I'm just trying to say an example. Look at the Patriots. Patriots were doing bad, and now they're 2-2. So, I mean, little by little, teams that had really bad records are starting to come back. And that's all because of injuries from the big teams, the main teams. And now the small teams are like, you know what? Let's take advantage of this and start winning.
Are you dreaming? Are
I,
you dreaming about the Saints going 13-4? Let's talk about Micah Parsons' return to Dallas. Yo, that is a hot take right there.
that
Nobody wins.
okay.
Nobody
Hey,
wins.
that game came down to the wire and literally got me like this, like super close to the TV. Like, what is going on? Like, dude, 40 points each going to overtime, 10 minutes. Okay, here's a quick question for both of y'all. You guys choose how you want to answer it. Do you think overtime should still stay 10 minutes, or you think it should go back to 15 minutes, or you think it should just be no time, basically do like college does? Basically, you score one, the other one has to score, like, like kind of like what college does right now. There's no timer. It's just until the game is over.
It used to be the way where if you kick a field goal, drive down, you win the game. I like the fact that if you get a field goal, it gives a chance for the other team to go through and score a field goal to tie it, and then the next one wins. I like that aspect. I still feel that it should be 15 minutes. Taken away from overtime just takes away from the game and just a different gameplay style. Obviously, you're going to have to go through and adjust to that, tweak to that, your whole game plan and all of that. I'm more of a college fan myself, so I like the whole overtime aspect. Now, even then, in college, they've gone through and changed it after the second overtime, where you go through and just go for 2 points. Whoever they go through and scores first from that ends up winning the game. So sometimes the games went forever. So you have to go through and cap it off, essentially. And I know a tie kind of hinders some stuff, but it is a step in the right direction.
I mean, it also prevents injuries too, like from happening. If you have like a time limit, that's what I think about it too. Like, if you have like a certain amount of time to actually play in overtime, it prevents injuries from happening, because after so much time, players start getting hurt, they start limping. I mean, anything can happen, but I mean, I still think they should go back to 15 minutes. That's my personal opinion. Go back to 15 minutes. If nobody wins, then yeah, that's when you can call a tie, because at least it gives more time for both teams. Because look how much time the Packers took, like, with the Cowboys on overtime. They each took like 5 minutes to do like their plays. Like, my lord.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, like, make it so like it's more competitive. Part of me misses the whole you score a field goal, you win. Because I mean, I love sudden death like that. I love when one scores, game over, it's done. Just because, I mean, it's past the regular 4 quarters.
I mean, I like how it is. The only thing I would agree is maybe going back to the 15 minutes. That way you can't have a team run their play clock and your defense finally gets to stop, but now your offense is like 2 minutes to drive the field and have to either do something. So maybe going back to the 15 is okay, but kind of like how it is now. No more sudden death. No more like, with some of these teams who have kickers who can like nuke a ball from 60 yards or something. As soon as they're like, we're in field goal range now, even though it's on the 40, and they're like, well, now we'll just run it. We'll just put the ball where this guy likes it. All right, trot them out on third down, kick the game, game's over. So, I mean, it's kind of more fun this way too. It just keeps the fans more involved, and it keeps the game more exciting, because pretty sure if the Cowboys could have won by a field goal or something, they just got to get Zerlander in range, which is unheard of, and he's just going to nuke a ball.
Hey, that dude has a freaking steel.
Aubrey.
He has a
Aubrey,
steel leg,
something.
bro.
Aubrey, yeah.
He has a freaking steel leg, dude. He can make it from like freaking 70. It's insane. Like, dude, how do you have a leg like that? Did you made it? Was it made out of tin, like aluminum or something? Like, damn, he could easily break any record he wants to.
So to talk about the point you did bring up about the whole time, by the time overtime is happening, the teams are usually tired. I don't think there's a cap or a time where you can go through and prevent injuries, because it can happen at a nick of time. Like somebody plants their foot wrong, but you have the wear and tear throughout the game. And just, I can see your point with, limiting the amount of time that is within overtime to help dwindle down the amount or the chance of getting that. But you can't go through and state that with the, taking 5 minutes off, injuries aren't going to happen. That's all I wanted to go through and point out from what you talked about with the whole injury thing, Louis.
All right, guys, we are getting to the hot takes of week 5, and I want to thank personally everybody that has been tuning in. I know you guys more than likely like to watch instead of talking. That's okay. We appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us. We've been doing this for 4 weeks because we had a bye week last week. I'm gonna keep bringing this up because somebody decided to say hey, I'm taking PTO. I'm sick.
Why is it spicy?
49ers and LA Rams. Dude, talk about a bloodbath. Every time I hear these two clash with each other, it's a freaking bloodbath. Like, they literally despise each other. I think this is actually one of the biggest rivalries in football in recent history. I don't know about you guys.
I can see it. I can see it. It's a heavy one, but there's some tough ones out there. But yeah, these guys go head to head.
In recent years, yes, I would say this because the two coaches are from the same coaching tree. They coach together and everything, so they were friends when they were, I think, with the Commanders, formerly known as Redskins, together on the same coaching staff. They've known each other, and I feel like that's what's making this rivalry more interesting. And they're both dynamic play callers, so it's going to be high scoring because they're both going to be trying to figure out how to put their players in the best scoring opportunity. The only thing that's going to hurt the Niners, I think, this time is they're coming in too injured into this fight. They're on the backup quarterback. Their best defender is out for the year. More guys are still hurt. Their number one receiver is still out. So it's just going to be interesting to see if they can overcome that in this game.
All I got to say is Nakua. That's all.
Nakua is a sensational player, but they still have Fred Warner on that defense, who is, if not one of the top linebackers in the NFL. But they have too many injuries, as you went through and said. They're going to need some things come their way within this battle here. As you did talk about, Doyle, having two mastermind coaches in Shanahan and McVay, I don't think that there is enough ammunition for the 49ers to win this one with having their wide receiver core depleted, going through and having a backup quarterback, and then you have a few injuries on the Rams. But you still have Matthew Stafford, Nakua, running backs and stuff like that. So to me, I got the Rams winning this one. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like, with all the variables that are there, heavily favored to win, but it's going to still be a close matchup because of the rivalry that is there.
I personally have the Rams winning as well, but I think it's gonna be down to a field goal. It's not gonna be a close game because like we talked about a little while ago, it's a NFC rivalry matchup. Every time I see a rivalry matchup, I kid you not, when you have a rivalry matchup, it's always down to the wire. It always comes to the end. For some reason, it's always close. Nakua is gonna have a phenomenal day because he's been impressing everybody. He's on everybody's radar. He's like the one that everybody's trying to lock down and be like, who's gonna be that cornerback that's gonna be stopping Nakua from going beyond ultra?
Dude, I don't even think concussions can hold back Nakua. I don't think concussions can hold that boy back. But you said the game's not going to be close, but you gave it a 3-point difference. That's why I'm laughing.
I'm going to take the Rams in this one. I just think the Niners' injuries are too much. Yes, they still have Warner on defense, and then their offense is going to be tried and true, go as far as McCaffrey can carry them and do what they can to maybe have McCaffrey open up more plays. But with the Rams having Puka, Devontae Adams, their running back healthy, Stafford, you double Puka, Devontae Adams is still Devontae Adams. He can pull that game out of his bag and torch you if you leave him one-on-one against your number 2 corner. I just feel like it's going to be too much for depleted 49ers, so give me the Rams in this game.
Let's move on to the next one, ladies and gents. Oh my God, why is it this one? Why do you have to highlight this one? Saints. If you actually play the 2 players that were injured since last year, which nobody expected them to return so quickly, by the names of Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau. You play those guys, and you still can't win with a healthy offensive line. You can't win any games. I'm sorry. You literally have everything in your arsenal that you could have, and literally you can't win a game. Then you might as well tank the whole season after that. This is my last hope for the Saints to save their season. If they don't win, lose every game. I don't care.
Okay, so they still have a chance to go in 13-4. Just saying over the next few games. You heard it here, guys. He did say it earlier in the podcast.
I'm just saying. if when you have
This is
all
where it starts.
when you have all your starting players playing and you still lose, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. I'm sorry. As
Lose
much
to the Giants playoffs, playoffs.
I'm just saying, Saints fans are just like Giants fans. We like literally, I kid you not, looking at the comments on Facebook and everything, literally like, people saying, "Oh yeah, who that? Taysom Hill's back. Who that?" Dude, you may be cheering right now, Saints fans. I'm a true Saints fan. I love my Saints. I know. If I could vote him to win every week, that would be biased. I don't want to be biased. But if you
Yeah, I
can't,
think you've picked them every week so far.
not last week. Remember, I said that the other team was gonna win.
We didn't go last week. Remember?
Yeah, but we
I
predicted that.
was taking that PTO.
We predicted. Hey, we predicted last week's the week before, and I told you like Seahawks were gonna demolish
Yeah,
this thing,
yeah.
and they did. They did destroy them. So this is my last hope. Like if you can't beat the Giants, don't get me wrong. Like I said, that Darp, phenomenal quarterback. He just started on everything. Saints for some reason, any Saints fan can vouch for me for this. Every time they play against a rookie quarterback, they give him the time of his life. They're like, "Ooh, let's give him the best freaking game." So if they don't win against a not so good Giants team that doesn't have their everybody that they need, you don't deserve to win. Might as well, like I said, go 0-17. Give me that made outfit. I'll wear it.
So do they give the rice pudding for your retirement home defense to help them win against all the rookie quarterbacks?
Dude,
Is
I'm
that what
telling
they
you,
do for the rookie quarterbacks?
dude, they literally just say, "Oh, rookie quarterback, let's give him the time of his life," and literally, literally make him have the best year. I wouldn't be surprised if Darb has like 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. That defense is a mediocre. Like it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Props to Radler for trying his best to try and win. But dude, you had your whole offensive line last week. I mean, yeah, you play the Seahawks. That's a good team. But I'm saying if you can't win against a team like this, dude, tank the season. Just tank the season, build up on everything, and just get ready for the next season already. That's my final take. I'm not gonna say anything.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it.
All right. In this game, I believe it's going to just come down to like 1 or 2 plays, and I'm just going to think Jackson Dart's going to make them. So I got the Giants winning a close one in this one. I just think Spencer Rattler's going to somehow do what he always did since college, is make that one mistake that cost him the game.
Yep. He's gonna choke. Yeah, I do see this as a high scoring game. Both defenses are struggling. Jackson Dart, second debut. There's a little more tape on him. And as Louis said, his defense is going to go through and give him a time of his life. But that's the thing. This boy, he's a dual threat. He's going to run, find the use his feet to go through and find that open play, make smart moves, and lead his team to victory. On top of that, I feel Cam Scatterboo is going to be able to be that back needed to make a difference. The dude ran 181 yards last week. And if y'all saw him in the CFP last year, this dude ran for a touchdown, threw for a touchdown, caught a touchdown. He could do it all. So, I mean, you have a secondary quarterback there. So, I mean, he could probably take Russell Wilson's backup position, or Jackson Dart's backup position, and take over second string at quarterback. Now, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Dart's going to make the plays that are necessary. Rattler is going to go through, and he's going to choke. I'm sorry, not sorry, but Giants by 3.
Oh my goodness. Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you to Nightmare Rising for rating the podcast with 4 viewers on Twitch. Thank you so much, my guy. Welcome everybody that has joined us. Greatly appreciate you bringing your people here. Co-host of the actual Reef podcast. Thank you so much for that. And I'm glad that alert played right when I was about to say something, because there is breaking news. Did you know that Dart is on the injury list. I'm serious. I'm
This
serious.
dude,
I'm not
we
joking.
need facts. Now, let me look this up real quick. He's on the injury list?
He's on the injury list.
Give me everything.
Is this like just recently happened?
Dude, look on the website.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hamstring, but full participant in. Okay, so it's not really
Yeah,
a
but I mean,
huge issue.
yeah, but still, the fact that he's there is like,
Hey, I know a guy who can probably give him some good masseuses. I know a guy.
Oh my god.
I don't know if he still goes through and talks to those masseuses, but he used to be a quarterback. He's on IR on my team.
This is the funny thing. Both teams have 8 players on the injury list. It's kind of funny. I'm like, wow, they both have the same. All right, moving on to the next one because we're taking a little long on this one. I don't want to dissect much on this, but what is your final take, CDP?
Oh, Giants.
Giants? Okay. So
Yeah.
we all going Giants in here. Sorry, Saints fans, but you made me really not believe in you. You guys made me not believe in y'all, and it's gonna be 0-5. If, like I said, if you can win against this one, I'm not crediting you. I'm not gonna be like, good job, Saints, you won. I'm not gonna be like that. I'm not gonna be jumping on everything until you go to the winning column on wins. Then I'm gonna start talking about y'all again. But until then, buckle up, get ready for a tank season because this is gonna be a horrible season. I already can feel it. Moving on to the next hot take we got the Eagles and the Broncos.
So some people feel like this is going to be a trap game because of how the Eagles almost gave up a game against the Buccaneers in a undefeated clash last week. We do know the Eagles have some struggles on that defense secondary, but their defensive line and their front is solid. With that being said, the Broncos defense, they are top 10 in all stats except for against the run, where they are 11th. So we know the Broncos have a solid defense. Jalen Hurts, he's been a sensational quarterback. He's only had 1 turnover, being a fumble. So with his wide receivers being hurt, he's making the plays that are needed to be a smart and efficient quarterback. But we know he's a, what do you call those? A running back. He's a running back with a tush push. For the Broncos to win this game, it's not only going to be needed with their defense stepping up, but Bo Nix needs to go through and clean up. Like, he makes the plays that are needed. He's got the receivers around him that he will be able to dissect the Eagles this week and possibly give them their first loss of the year. I'm going to go Broncos as my upset alert.
In this game, I'm going to go with the Eagles winning it. I just think it's going to be a true defensive struggle. The Broncos can easily cover their receivers and stop the run. But I just feel like Bo Nix is going to have that one costly turnover that cost them the game. It's just going to come down to which quarterback makes the fewer mistakes, and I'm going to ride with Jalen Hurts not making the most mistakes.
I actually agree with you. I'm glad that actually somebody agrees that the Eagles are the powerhouse right now. I'm not trying to bandwagon, but I'm just saying, dude, I mean, offensive line for them, I mean, it's phenomenal. Jalen Hurts is having a great year. He's having fun. And I'm sorry, but Bo Nix, you're in a world of hurt, man, my man. Where are they playing this game at? Is it in Philly or is it in Denver?
It's in Philly.
Okay. If this game was played in Denver, then maybe Denver would have a chance. The reason why I say that is because for some reason, when teams go play Mile High Club, the altitude really gets to the players. It really does. Because they play up there in the mountains, which is a huge advantage for the Broncos. Like, if the Broncos had the most elite quarterback, the most elite running back, like the best all-star team, kind of like the Eagles do, you best believe the Broncos might have a good year because their home stadium is phenomenal. Like, up there in the mountains, it hurts you a lot. I mean, I kid you not. Playing soccer like up in the mountains while I was actually in Peru, like around that area, dude, you really ran out of breath quick. And I'm just saying, dude, that's a huge advantage that the Broncos have while they play up there. But I got the Eagles winning. by 10 to 14 points. We got the Houston Texans
there we
and the
go.
Ravens.
This is very compelling. For the first time in a long time, the Ravens are in a losing record, 1-3, and Lamar Jackson's out for a few weeks. That and having some injuries across the defense. I do know that CJ Stroud and the Texans are struggling as well. They can't get into a rhythm, but I can see him establishing himself this game against Baltimore. I mean, you have Cooper Rush, who is starting for the Ravens. That's definitely a Timu version of Lamar Jackson, if that. My hot take on this is if Baltimore drops to 1-4 this week, it is going to be hard for the Baltimore Ravens to make the playoffs. Now, Vegas has them projected to win 11.5 games. Lamar being out for 2 to 3 more weeks. They have the Rams coming up next week. So that'll put them at 1-5 if they end up losing. And we know how difficult it is to play against the Rams. So teams that have started off with a 1-4 record have a 5.9 chance, about 6% chance on making the playoffs. The last team to go through and do that was the 2020 Washington Commanders when they expanded the playoffs to 14 teams. No one since has made the playoffs if they start off 1-4. So my hot take on top of that, I love to see it because, it is what it is. Being a Browns fan and seeing the struggle of the old Browns feel our pain.
It might
going
be
to 1-4
It might be my
and
Saints.
not making the playoffs.
It might be my Saints' turn to actually get that record now. It'll be like 13-4.
With that 13-4. 13.
Dude, I kid you not. That happens, I'm really gonna just lose myself. I'm like, wow, this is too funny. But
I got the Texans winning this one, and it's gonna be by 6.
I got a feeling the Texans are gonna win as well, just because, like you said, Lamar Jackson being out. But you can't count out the running backs and everybody. They might be more prepared. You know what happens, like when you see a star player get injured, everybody basically gets like a chip on their shoulder, and they're like, oh dude, we have to step up for a player. We have to actually do something. So I still think the Texans might win, but I'm gonna say Texans by 3 on this one.
I'm going to go with Houston on this one. The Texans are smart. They're going to not let Derrick Henry beat them. They will load the box with him playing in a division for so long when he was a Titan. They know what he's like. If the Ravens do not win this game, I don't think they make the playoffs because they will have 3 losses in conference, which is very hard to overcome when it comes to all the tiebreakers at the end of the year. Their division's already hard enough with the Steelers. The Bengals are hurt, so that might be easy games. The Browns always play them tough, minus the first time they played. The Steelers always have given them problems. So, if they lose this one, they're not going to make it this year. When it comes to the tiebreakers, their conference record is 1-3. They would become 1-4. They've lost to all AFC teams, which you can't have at the end of the year with those tiebreakers.
Okay, so now we're actually going to our next hot take. We got, oh my god, this one.
Ooh,
Buccaneers.
This one is a great matchup.
This is gonna be insanity. This might be preview of a playoff matchup.
Would you say this one is the game of the week?
100%. Why couldn't they make this a Sunday night game or a Monday night football game? That would have been perfect. Darnold against Mayfield, literally good stats. 5 TDs, 2 interceptions for Darnold, 8 TDs, 1 interception. Dude, Mayfield is just having the time of his life. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually, I'm not saying he's MVP because we all know who I picked for MVP to do a back-to-back already in a previous episode. But I got a feeling that Baker Mayfield could be a runner-up for MVP this year if he keeps up like the way he's playing. And they're playing on Seattle's stadium. Have you guys been to an actual Seattle game at all?
I have not.
I have a buddy that went to see Saints versus Seahawks the year after the Super Bowl when the Saints played in the playoffs in Seattle. And I kid you not, he said, dude, they get so loud out there that you can hardly ever hear anything. It's insanity how loud it is. I got the Bucs winning by 3.
From looking at it, I think they will be the primetime game for the afternoon game. They just lost out to a divisional game at Sunday night football, and Monday night is the Chiefs. So you lose whenever they want. They can put their T Swift on to get all the fans galore. In this game, it's going to be close. Just give me Baker. Sam Darnold will make that one mistake because last year he was riding high and then he had that must-win week 18 and he choked it away, and then his playoff game he choked it away. I just don't know if I can trust Sam Darnold yet in that big game moment. So give me the Bucks.
Being a Baker fan, y'all know what I'm going to go through and say. I'm going to keep riding that train. Baker helped the Browns win when Sam Darnold was projected to be the better quarterback. Baker went through and proved it that game, opening up all the Bud Light to all of Cleveland, unlocking the chains. Now, what's going to hurt Tampa Bay is the injuries on the offensive line. They've lost 2 offensive line to the season. Mike Evans is out a few more weeks. Bucky Irving is banged up. What's crazy is both teams have Ohio State receivers leading their team in receptions and all of that. It is going to be an Ohio State showdown with how Baker has been playing this year. He almost beat Philly with that comeback, being down 24 to I think 3, and to come back and have almost a game, another chance this year to have a game-winning drive. I feel like this is going to be another one as they go into Seattle and win this game in a close one by 3.
I just love the fact that he has changed so much over the years and say like, hey, I'm still not giving up. I'm still going to recover myself and be the best athlete out there. And he's proven to be a candidate. I'm not saying he's MVP. Yeah. Not yet. I mean,
the only thing that's going to hurt Baker Mayfield in that is that he is not as athletic as Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. He's got the arm strength. He's been showing clutchness this year against the opponents he's played against. It would have really helped seal that deal if they were able to go through and beat Philly.
All right, moving on to the last game. We have the Swifties against the Kitties. I'm not trying to bash Swifties in any means, but it's just that I'm sick and tired of the whole celebrity couples like this because they ruin the integrity of football. We're watching football. We're not watching celebrities like, on camera and everything. I mean, yeah, it's great. Like, oh yeah, there's this big celebrity, but dude, focus on the football game. Don't pinpoint some big celebrity and everything like that. I mean, it's nice, but I mean, don't do it too often. Like, okay, yeah, you show it once. Don't keep showing the reaction because that gets irritating. But in my take on this one, I hate to say it. I mean, as much as I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are still there, they might actually pull this off, and it might be by 10.
You got the Chiefs?
Yeah, I got the Chiefs.
Oh, damn. Okay, all that hate on the Swifties. I was going to say, shake it off, shake it off. Your argument when it comes to the celebrity aspect, the NFL is a business, and the NFL saw this as an opportunity to be able to bring another fan base. But yeah, with that being said, I do like the challenge here for the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win this game. Patrick Mahomes is going to do Patrick Mahomes things, and having Xavier Worthy back is going to definitely help out his pass game. I do want to see Travis Hunter do something. He hasn't done anything on offense. He hasn't done anything on defense. He has been what do you call those? What do you call those? A bust. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. They're going to go through and be over 500 and then start making that transition to their playoff push.
I know I'm a guest, but I will never want to outrage the Swifties and have them come hunt me down for disrespecting their High Lord Queen Taylor Swift. So I will never disrespect them out of fear. They are in mass number and they can pop up out of nowhere. So I respect all the Swifties. But with that, and I'm going to ride with them mainly just because I just think if it comes down, I'm terrified of them. Okay. There's a lot of them. I will say the reason I'm also picking the Chiefs, if you look at it, I just trust Mahomes over Lawrence. Lawrence, for some reason, in this make or break year for him, nothing impressive enough of worthy of that number 1 overall pick. So I just think the Chiefs win this one. Trevor Lawrence is a no-show.
If he makes it into the playoffs, do you feel like that would change the narrative? I don't feel like he is living up to the narrative that has been drawn there for him. He was, sensational in college, won national championship. In the NFL, I think he's been in the playoffs one time. as you said, this is the make it or break it year. If they make it to the playoffs and they're able to make it to, let's say, the divisional round or the championship round, do you feel like that's enough for him to be able to keep his role as a franchise quarterback in Jacksonville?
Well, I think they have to because I think they just paid him a lot of money. If they do it now, it's a lot of dead money that they're going to have to carry. If they get there, it all depends on how did he look getting there. Was he an average quarterback, or is he just going to show up and show out and be the reason they get there? Because we've all seen teams get there with anyone could have quarterbacked that team and they're going to win the Super Bowl. It's not even like a top 15 quarterback and they get there. There's going to be a lot more questions than answers.
On the contrary, we know how wonderful Lamar Jackson has been throughout the regular season. But when it comes to the playoffs, he breaks. With the amount of success that team has had, because Lamar has had a great supporting cast around him. And yes, he is that new age quarterback that has benefited because the coaching staff and the whole team has built around him to succeed. When do you feel that breaking point is for Lamar?
For Lamar, I think it's going to be break or make this year. You had so many chances already. You go to the playoffs and you choke, or you actually win a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson needs to step up.
Well, his breaking point is just going to be, how does he look in the playoff and who does he lose to? Yes, he's been losing, but he's lost to Patrick Mahomes, went on to win the Super Bowl. He lost to Josh Allen. He's not losing to Joe Schmo quarterbacks. He's losing to a league MVP, a Super Bowl MVP. I mean, if he comes into the playoffs and maybe finally loses to a team that he shouldn't lose to, period. Well, since he's become Lamar, now that he is Lamar Jackson with two MVPs, if he loses maybe that Titans team that back-to-back years, then he might have a breaking point. But right now, I believe he's built up enough of a grace period with who he's lost to.
And to counter that, I don't think as of right now, the Ravens can get somebody who is to his level, be as successful in that system as Lamar. We'll have to see what happens with that. But, he's a sensational player. He's got a lot of talent. It's just, he hasn't been able to perform to the next level. And that's the same thing with Josh Allen. Will Josh Allen be able to go through and finally break it this year? Will this be his year to go through and beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, to go through and get into the Super Bowl? There's a lot of questions, when it comes to that. But I mean, he's doing a lot this year on the team that doesn't have a true number one. I mean, he's got a solid running back in Cook. Outside of that, what quarterback is given the most grace by the fan base?
Over the past 2 years, I would go with Jordan Love. It's either you get Jordan Love A game, they win. Jordan Love F game, they lose. There is no Jordan Love B game, Jordan Love C game. Jordan Love has a mediocre game. It's either Jordan Love's good or Jordan Love's going to suck. Until he gets consistency, Jordan Love.
Damn.
That's a really good take. I can see where you're coming from with that, because he started off with a great year, and you're starting to see some ripples. For me, I'm going to say Dak Prescott. The man can go through and throw the game for you, but he's inconsistent. Which Dak Prescott are you going to go through and get? He is perfect in that Cowboys air raid, but they've always had receivers to go through and help out with that. It's been a few years since they've done anything in the playoffs, and he's also been plagued with injuries. And you have all the memes with the Cowboys of being Cowboys, and it's nothing like the 90s. But for me, yeah, I'll go with the cliche. It's Dak Prescott out of all the starting quarterbacks. But I do like that Jordan Love. That's a really good take.
You're right about Dak. I don't know about if I agree with Jordan Love. Jordan Love deserves a lot of credit, dude. I mean, he's been doing phenomenal. Yeah, he got a little bump on the way with the Cowboys game, but I mean, sometimes that happens. I mean, sometimes you get vulnerable, but I mean, you can't control that. Offensive lines are what make games, and I'm gonna keep repeating that all year round. I don't care how many times I have to say it. It's all a matter of that. That's what makes and breaks games. If you don't have that, you basically quarterback becomes vulnerable, and everyone can easily sack him. And I think the Cowboys exposed a little bit of the Packers with that. But at the same time, I think personally that the Saints are just awful. They're completely awful. But
There's two that we forgot as well that could be up there, but I'm sorry.
who? Tua? Oh yeah, Tua. Yeah.
Tua, and then Bryce Young. That it's completely oddball. I mean, they're obvious on the hot seat, and I didn't mean to go through and cut you off, but yeah, they're obviously on the hot seat for grace from the fan base.
I mean, another one too is that quarterback from the Tennessee Titans. They overhyped him way too much.
He doesn't have a good supporting cast. That's the thing. Cam Ward, he's shown flashes. He's a rookie. He's gonna have on that team. They're going through a rebuild.
Same thing with us.
Yes. But I mean, Rattler wasn't on the list, and I don't think anybody would see him as one to be on the list for giving grace when he's just a fill-in in between. Because Derek Carr decided to, hey, I'm going to go through and retire at the beginning of the season. So you guys had to go through and, they want to go call the Browns to take, Deshaun Watson off our hands. We would love for that because, we want to go through and get this guy $157 million guarantee contract. So we can go through and, give whoever needs, the masseuse, the number and all. But you guys had to go through and put in panic mode. I feel like the season for the Saints would be different if Derek Carr was there.
I agree. And also, I want to say that we need a player kind of like Jameis Winston in our locker room. That guy brings everything on the table, bro. Did you see the video of him eating his W? I was like, bro, I love this guy. That dude is like the locker room all-star superstar. Like literally brightens everybody's day by like his personality. And he's come a long way from being in Tampa Bay, now with the Giants. I mean, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually he goes to every single NFL team. And that would be amazing. Can you imagine that? Literally just have a jersey for every single NFL team that he's been to.
How many teams has he played on? Let's pull that up real quick.
He has played in 4 NFL teams: Tampa Bay, Saints, Cleveland Browns, and the New York Giants. So he still has 28 teams to go.
28 more teams. 28 more teams.
He's still got a while before he hits that Tim Couch and Ryan Fitzpatrick level. Okay.
Oh
He
my
can
god.
do it. He can do it.
Oh my god. Final take. Do you guys agree with me saying that Jameis Winston is the type of person you need in your locker room?
Oh, for sure.
Dude.
For sure. Night and day different.
He's like
night and day different from, like you said.
He's like the cheerleader of the team. Like he's literally like, there to motivate you, there to I'm like, dude, you could be a freaking good coach if you keep up with this attitude. Like you could actually, people would actually listen to you.
I'm waiting for him to do a Ray Lewis type intro to Madden and be on the cover of Madden. Like that would probably boost his sales because not only are you going through and uplifting people, but you're making everybody smile as well. And when you go through and you make somebody smile, hey, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. And that guy can definitely do it to you.
So you're saying that his Madden cover should be the W?
This has to be the week that either the Texans or the Ravens show us who they really are. This is a game for the Texans to get back on their offense, or this is a time for the Ravens to find out, hey, we have a really good running back that we have, not been wanting to hand the ball off to so much. So I feel like that game is going to help either team get back, or it's going to show us who they really are.
My hot take, I'm going to keep it local for me. Local, not the local team, but my favorite team. Finding out that Dylan Gabriel is going to be starting this week, and there's a whole controversy of Shedeur Sanders still being third string quarterback. You're gonna see strides of Dylan Gabriel. He's gonna do pretty good this week with his first start because there isn't much film. And when they did put him in at the end of each game, he's 3 for 4, 27 yards, and a touchdown. I think he's got the skill set to be a leader for the team, and I'm hoping the team will go through and rally around him because he's definitely more mobile than Joe Flacco. So Thank you for everybody for going through and being here. And make sure you go through and like, subscribe, and comment and all of that on every social media that we are on. Much love, Korean Heart. We're out of here.
As always, today's episode was broadcast live on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. If you couldn't make it to the live segment, feel free to watch it on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and iHeart Radio. Links on the description below. See you next time.